here. A lot of respect for, tremendous respect for this UCLA team, and for Mick as a coach. I think his, career speaks for itself. It's an unbelievable career he's put together. So we knew we were going to face they're a young team, and I think they're, like most teams, a work in progress, and they have a lot of new pieces and young players. But tremendous respect, so feel really good about this win. I think it's going to get better even as the season goes on, because I think, as is typically the case with his teams, they're going to get better and better. So we figured it would really come down to the last 4 minutes if we played well. And I know sometimes it wasn't always pleasing to watch, but I give the defenses a lot of credit.
How was your hand, and what happened to the board?
Yeah. I kind of wish that wouldn't have become public, but no, I just was I was frustrated with our, we talked about their physicality on the ball defensively, and I thought we were just too casual and too loose, and I just had a moment of anger and punched the board and split my hand up pretty good.
But you saw some responses from your team, like you said, to make the plays that you needed in a physical game and answer that kind of challenge. Like, what did you learn about your team as far as combating what UCLA was throwing at you and finding a way to answer it?
Yeah, I think it's a mentality game, Adam, when you're playing a team like this, because I think if you get frustrated in a game like this, it can go from a 2-point deficit to a 6 to 8-point deficit, and then it can be hard to come back. So it's a mindset game. We knew it was going to be a rock fight. That's just the way these games are. He's been so successful the last couple of years with a great offense and an elite defense. We knew this year he had an elite defense and an offense that was coming, because we felt like if our defense could keep us kind of hanging around, we would be able to make some plays. And the funny thing is we had really good execution. The play out of the timeout, Roddy's layup, great execution, exactly what we wanted. We miss it. We had other times we had great execution. The one play where it was a completely busted play was Jameson's 3. And we know that often happens. We had poor execution there, and we stepped up and made a 3.
On a day when offense is hard to come by and you're not making threes at an almost historic rate, I mean, it had been a long time since Ohio State has made a 3 in a game. How did your team handle some of that? And like something that's been so good for this team this year was a struggle today. How did they not get overwhelmed by it?
Well, I think they stayed invested in winning. That's probably the best way to, if you're invested in your own performance, then I think you can naturally get really discouraged when you're not making shots. I think they stayed invested in the team winning, and I think at the end of the day that allowed them to play both ends effectively. So a simple answer was guys that were missing shots, that were open. I thought we had clean looks at them. Outside of a couple threes, I thought we had pretty clean looks. But they stayed invested in the team winning. And when you don't, bad things happen. I thought our guys did that and found a way.
Winning on a neutral site like this, where you could possibly come back again, is this something that you could go back and draw on?
Yeah, no, I think this is good for us. This is good for our league. I know, people like to sometimes take shots at our league. The reality is our league's one of the best leagues in the country. It's the 3rd best league in the country right now. It's one of the very deepest. It's having a good day today. I think with Michigan State's win, Purdue's ahead right now. It's a very deep league. So this helps us. This helps our league, because I do think UCLA will have a good year.
Shaking off the turnovers in the first half, I think you had as many turnovers as you had made field goals and missed 3-pointers. Sure, maybe add up to it. Yeah. What did it take to take better care of the ball in the second half and go to 3?
Well, as was the case the other night, when you have halves like that, it can be a lot on you, it can be some on you, it can also be a byproduct of the team you're playing. We are playing another team there, so not every turnover that we made was unforced or was a poor play on our part. They deserve credit. So I think we had to correct the ones that were correctable and accept the fact that there's going to be some plays like that.
Just after taking the week off to come back and fight through this, I don't know, how impressed were approach to this?
Really impressed. It's a heck of a win, guys. It's a heck of a win. I mean, there's no, we struggled making shots. We played a team that is a good team, tough to play. I mean, look at their scores against Gonzaga and Marquette. Who else did they play really close? I mean, just Villanova the other day. Look at their scores. They're going to win some games this year, so I couldn't be more impressed. But I've been impressed with this group. We're obviously still young. He's a little more reliant on freshmen right now than what we are, but we're still young. And it's a really good win for us. It's as good as win as we've had in a little bit.
Bruce was really fighting it. It seemed like whatever he was over on threes and just stayed with it and made several big plays, including that pass I think to Felix at the end of the game for the jump and dunk. Just what do you say about him being able to stay with it through what was a tough game for him?
Well, I think you've watched him long enough. Adam's watched him long enough to know that kid's got real special stuff inside. He's got real special stuff inside. I don't know how else to. He's just got special stuff that allows him to come back from poor plays. He had to settle down a little bit in the second half. That's why we took him out. But man, he really got to his spots in the second half in the mid-range.
I thought you got some good stuff from Devin in the first half when things were not going very well. What did you see from him?
I thought it was his best minutes on the season, Adam. I thought it was his best minutes in terms of just creating an extra possession. He forced a turnover on the post trap that we put on Bona. Dale got the layup. Thought he was active on the glass. I thought it was his best moments so far this year. He's only going to get better.
Last question. The way that you were able to handle their pressure as well, like at the end of the game when they were trying to turn you over and get a bucket, you were able to handle that better than maybe you have. What do you like about what you're able to put out there and break pressure when the game is on the line in the final minutes?
Yeah, we had really good, like I said, really good execution against their press late. The one where we got at the Bruis and Roddy got to the free throw line, I thought we got to our spots. We knew they were going to trap without fouling. Bruce is so good in those situations, did a great job stepping through. And then after the timeout, guys did a really good job executing what our staff drew up. Mike Nettie did a good job drawing up the special situation, end of game alignment that we had talked about. It's just a little bit of a different